And everyone is muted. Wonderful. So everyone has their tabletops in front of them, Post-its, little pieces of paper work fine, and a pen. And we're going to get started on day 4 of our support constellation. So I'm going to flip my camera and everyone's just going to follow along, mirroring what I do. And then also if there's movement in your constellation that is additional or different from mine, I encourage you to listen to your own intuition and follow your own movement. So we're going to first place us in the field. So us meaning me. We're going to place you individually into the field. So we're going to write on a piece of paper and a Post-it me, M-E, and then we're going to draw that arrow up top. That's the direction in which you're facing in the field. And again, for this mini constellation, we're just going to place ourselves center here, getting present to us individually. So getting present to me, placing your hand on me. Let's begin to channel and really get present, dropping into the field, dropping into ourselves even further, feeling the weight of our body, the presence of ourself. How does it feel to be in your body right now? How does it feel to be sitting down, supported? Feel your feet connected to the ground. Feel that support where you sit and from underneath your feet. Feel that connection right now. Also feeling the connection to what else is in your field right now. Perhaps there's a connection to source that you're feeling, connection to the support around you. So just connecting to that right now, presencing, ancestors, guides, angels, see what's there for you. So just feeling that connection. Noticing what you're noticing. So noticing thoughts and emotions. Perhaps there's a memory. Perhaps that memory is of earlier today. So really allowing all that to come up. And let's be present with that. All right, we're going to bring the next step in. So we're actually going to bring in the awakening right now. So we're going to bring in the awakening. So that is what we are experiencing right now, the awakening. And let's first place it pretty close to us. So let's look at it. So placing your hand on the awakening, let's see how that shows up for you. So how does the awakening show up for you? So basically we're channeling the awakening. How does that feel? So standing in the shoes of the awakening, how does it occur? How does it appear? Allow it to be seen, allow it to show up. And place your hand back on me, just me. And I want you to notice, standing in your shoes, again, how does it feel to look at the awakening? How does it occur to you? Feel if you're receiving from the awakening, so noticing that. And then you can place your hand, one hand on me and one hand on the awakening. Let's feel that connection. Perhaps you are feeling the receiving now. And check in with the awakening if there's any messages from the awakening today for you. Perhaps there are gifts from the awakening to you today. Go ahead and receive those gifts. It could feel like energy, resources. Could actually feel like transformation, like there's a shift in you, perhaps recoding. So just receive that. Could feel like vibration, resonance. We'll continue to receive that throughout this constellation. Let's go ahead and take this back a little bit. So we'll give it some space. So feeling that perspective, feeling the perspective of the awakening in this way. Let's add the next step here. We're gonna add Mother Earth. Mother Earth. So today is a day we reconnect with Mother Earth. So placing Mother Earth in front of me, and I'm going to give a little bit more space here. Just feel how that feels for you in your constellation, what kind of space that feels good. So placing your hand on Mother Earth, let's see how Mother Earth shows up. So noticing the attributes of Mother Earth. How does Mother Earth appear? The size. What is the nature of Mother Earth? Are there feelings there? Perhaps you're noticing an evolution of Mother Earth or a relation to the awakening. So you can actually feel into that. Perhaps Mother Earth is feeling supported by the awakening. So just feel into that. Is Mother Earth saying anything? Are there any messages there? And that could be to you, and that could be to a message to all. So let's hear that. Feels like for some of you, Mother Earth may want to turn around and look at the awakening. If there's that movement, go ahead and do that. We'll just do that for a moment. Feels like perhaps Mother Earth is also receiving from the awakening. So let's support her in that. And notice how you are. So you can also place your hand on you. So place your hand on all three parts. Notice as Mother Earth receives how you are in relation to that receiving. Are you supporting Mother Earth? So notice where you are in that. Perhaps there's a symbiotic relationship there that you're noticing. Let's go ahead and turn Mother Earth back to you, back to me. So let's just place our hands, one hand on me and one hand on Mother Earth. And let's feel that connection. And again, feel that symbiotic relationship. So noticing how you relate to Mother Earth and how Mother Earth relates to you. Notice the exchange, and let's feel into that exchange. So the giving and the receiving. If there is any communication here from you to Mother Earth, please give that now. See how Mother Earth received that. And if there's any communication from Mother Earth to you, please hear that now. And see how you received that. Okay, we're going to go to the next step. So let's place Mother Earth over here. And we're going to bring in the sun. We're writing the sun with that arrow. That's the direction in which the sun is facing. Let's look at the sun. So we're going to bring the sun right in front of us here. So let's feel into the sun, placing your hand on the sun. See how the sun occurs to you, how the sun appears to you. Noticing how the sun feels. What's the size, the feeling, the awareness? And then let's feel back into me. So standing in your shoes, how is it to look at the sun? Perhaps you are receiving right now from the sun. Let's just sit in that receiving. Feels like some of you are lying down in the receiving, basking in it. How does that feel? Now we can place our hand on both of these. So one hand on the sun and one hand on me. Let's feel that connection. Perhaps there is a message from the sun to you or from you to the sun. Please exchange that now. I'm feeling that there's a lot of gratitude. So if that's there for you, please express that. Okay, let's move the sun over here. And before we put the next thing in, let's just feel into the field. So let's just place our hand on all four parts. And perhaps for you, there's feeling into the sun and then feeling into the awakening. Notice how they are in relation to one another. And you can feel into all four parts, feeling the connection here. How is it for Mother Earth to be next to the sun? You can feel into that. Okay, so let's add to the next part. Yes, we are going to add the moon. So writing the moon on a Post-it piece of paper with that arrow, that's the direction in which the moon is facing. Let's look at the moon. So we're placing the moon in front of me, placing your hand on just the moon. So let's bring in the moon and noticing how the moon feels. Noticing the size. How does the moon occur to you? And we'll just take a moment of silence feels like there's this respect of the moon that in a moment of silence to just really feel into that. So feeling the energy of the moon. Okay, and let's feel back into me. So just feeling on you, standing in your shoes, how does the moon occur to you? Perhaps you want to bring the moon closer to you. And let's have you connect with the moon. Let's place one hand on me and one hand on the moon. It feels like there is some receiving there, so let's receive from the moon. And there does feel like a reciprocal relationship as well. So if there's a giving and receiving action, just feel into that. Perhaps there is just receiving right now. Are there any messages from the moon to you or from you to the moon? Let's go ahead and exchange those. messages now. See if those messages are received. We're going to place the moon up here. And again, you can feel into the moon and the awakening, feeling into how it all is connected here. We're going to bring in the next part. Let's bring in touching the earth. We're going to write touching the earth. Drawing that arrow up top. Let's place touching the earth right in front of us. Perhaps we are touching it, so feel how that feels for you. And let's place your hand on touching the earth. Feel what that feels like. What do you notice shows up? Perhaps it is earth. How does that feel? Does it feel tactile? What is touching the earth? And perhaps there's an action here that you're seeing, that you're experiencing. Just experience that for you. And let's place one hand on touching the earth and one hand on me. And let's actually do that. So there may be actually a touching of the representations of the Post-its to really feel yourself touching the earth. Just take a few moments to do that. How does it feel to be in the earth? Perhaps your feet barefoot are on the ground, or on the earth, in the earth. Noticing how this is for you, this experience. You can also feel into Mother Earth as you do that. So perhaps one hand is on me and touching the earth, and one hand is on Mother Earth. Notice how she reacts when you're touching the earth. So really feeling this in your body, noticing the healing energy that happens when you're touching the earth. How does that experience occur for you? Noticing if there is an exchange of energy here. Noticing the exchange of energy here. The healing from touching the earth. And also feel into that healing with Mother Earth when you do that. Feel how that heals her as well. We're going to add one more thing. We're going to add the ancestors behind us. We're going to write the ancestors with the arrow, and we're going to place them behind us. And let's first bring them in. So bringing in the ancestors. So calling in generation and generations of the ancestors, those who can resource and support us. Notice how they show up for you. You may be seeing way back. Allowing them to appear standing in their own strength, resourcing. And let's feel into me. So one hand on the ancestors, one hand on me. Just notice how they feel. Notice how strong they are. And then let's do this. We're going to place our hand on touching the earth and me and the ancestors at the same time. So I want you to notice how the ancestors relate to touching the earth. Notice that connection for them. And perhaps you're seeing them touching the earth at one with the earth many, many, many generations back. And noticing how supportive that was for them, how connected and in tune with the earth they were generations back. Allowing that to resource us now, to resource me now. And notice if there's any messages, again, from the ancestors, as we connect to, as we touch the earth and connect to Mother Earth and the sun and the moon. So noticing the ancestors' relationship to the sun, the moon, Mother Earth. How was it for them? How did they connect with Mother Earth, the moon, the sun? And as we do that, let's feel into your entire field here. So let's feel that connection of it all. And just receive that. Okay. I think we're going to end this here. As always, if you want to leave this out throughout the day, place it on a piece of paper, perhaps tape these down, feel into this constellation throughout the day as needed. Also, if you want to add any parts to your field right now as well. For example, hearing the birds, so you can add other elements of nature and really expand this. Please do that for yourself as well. So I think we'll end this here. Can I have one person share how that was for them? You can chat or you can unmute yourself as well. And if the share is a thumbs up, that's great. Are we all in such a Zen mode that we don't want to share? That's fine. All right, guys. So we'll end this here. And a reminder, highly encourage you guys to join us for the Future Self workshop starting Monday. Awakening the Future Self. And you can visit my website, themorphicfield.com, if you guys are interested in finding out more. So Kimberly says, okay. So Joe says my awareness is of my realignment with Mother Earth. Yeah. And I put, Kimberly says, I put the earth under me and it was so sweet. Yeah. And the energy of the awakening was magnetic. Yeah, thank you. Then we have my body is more relaxed now held by Mother Earth, and she is happy to see me in this way. Moon is friendly, sun is renewal, and earth is renewal. Yeah. And Linda says, my exhaustion just lifted, feeling held. Great. Wonderful. Anyone else? Final last? And there's a kissy face thing from Kimberly. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.